morning, sixth grade. I apologize for any confusion, but there's some technical difficulties that I need to work out if we're going to use Google Meet. I need to be very clear if this has not been said to you already, but I'm sure that it has been. Google Meets is strictly for your class time. Hi, Jaden. No one should ever be in a Google Meet without a teacher present. So for the time being, until this gets worked out, we're going to remain on here. Good morning, Laurel. Good to see you, man. Okay. Good morning, Jasir. Good morning, Giovanni. I don't know what that means. It would be great if you could use English. Let me talk to you guys a little bit about how today is going to work. Today starts a new book. Mondays and Thursdays are your official class times for math. They are the 2 hours of the week that you should definitely be joining, whether it's a stream or a meet. Now, right now it's a stream. If we can get the meet to work out, then we'll use that. Today starts Unit 3. You don't have your book, but you do have your documents online. So you're going to be accessing Open Up Resources online. And I'll be attaching the documents that you need. So for example, for today, the documents are already listed in the classwork tab of your classroom. Oh, wait, did I do that for you guys? No, I think I only did that for my homeroom. So I'll attach everything in just a minute. We're going to start with the warm-up. Then we're going to talk a little bit more about the schedule. And then I'm going to set up the task that's going to be due Thursday. So I need you to think about these 3 questions to get started for the book. I need you to think about how many hours are in a week, how many weeks are in a year, and how many years are in a generation. Think about those few questions and get back to me as soon as you have something. While you're doing that, I will take attendance and I will go ahead and post those things in the classroom for you. So for you guys, it's actually 11 a.m., so let's alter that. All right, I'll keep that up there. And who do we have here today? We have Jaden. Laurel. We have GOG. Jasir. Anyone else? Anyone else that I'm missing? How many hours in a week, guys? How many hours in a week? What do you guys, no one else is here? It says that other people are here. Layerel, 120. Okay, let's put that down. 120. 52 weeks in a year. Okay, that's the other question. How many weeks in a year? Geo says 52 weeks a year. Okay. Jaden says 168. So we have two different answers right now. We're going to have to talk about how you guys came to those conclusions. Okay, Jasir agrees with the 168. So can I hear from you guys, Layerel, Jasir, or Jaden? How did you come to your conclusions, please? And Giovanni, you also, please. Jaden says that he did 24 times 7. Giovanni is agreeing with 168. Jaden, would you tell me, please, why you did 24 times 7? Or Jasir, because I see that you wrote that down too. So to get this number, they did 24 times 7. All right, let us know what you did, Layerel. Or are you telling me that you agree with this number, that you agree with this procedure? Which one? Oh, okay, so you agree with the 24 times 7. You made a slight mistake? Is that all that happened? I agree. Oh, okay, no problem. So my question is, why are we multiplying 24 times 7? That's a calculation. I would like to know why you're doing it, because there is 24 hours in one day and 7 days in 1 week. Okay. What Jaden just said is pretty important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this for a moment. He said that there are 24 hours in one day and that there are 7 days in each week. These are conversions. These are units, and they have a conversion or a unit rate. And it's important information so that you can just go back and forth between them. Now, he said that there's 7 days in a week. So if we wanted to prove what you guys did was right, you could literally make a list of each of the days to prove it to someone. So if someone said to you, well, I don't understand why you did 24 times 7, you could say, well, here are the 7 days of each week, and each one of them consists of 24 hours. Now, we could literally sit here and do 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24, right? We could do the repeated addition, but we all know that to multiply is a shortcut. Multiply is repeated addition. So far, Mr. Casamento, we have Jaden, Layerel, GOG, and Jasir. Those are the gentlemen that have come forward and said good morning. It could be confusing for some people because the schedule says it's supposed to be a Google Meet. Maybe they're waiting for that. I don't know. Would you actually maybe post a comment in the stream asking them to join the YouTube stream? Like sometimes you do? 5? Well, 5 would be include you. Jaden, Layerel, GOG, and Jasir. Oh, you did. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so this would help back up your logic. All right, nice job here. You guys, so there are 168 hours in 1 week. Doesn't seem like a lot, does it? Even though a week feels long. Oh yes. Hi, Yobani. I'm sorry. I didn't see your comment. So we have 5, yes. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Okay, now let's talk about what Gio said about there being 52 weeks in a year. How'd you get that, buddy? Is that something that you just knew? Did you look it up? Did you calculate it somehow? How'd you do it? Okay. Is Gio still here with us? If you look it up, you should get some type of decimal. If you ask Google the question, how many weeks are in a year, you should get something like 52.1 and dot, 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 right? So typically we say that there are 52 weeks. So this was correct, and that leaves us with just one more. The last one is how many years are in a generation? Okay, Laurel says 30 years. Nice job, buddy. If you look it up, you should get 30 years. Oh, you guess? Really? Hi, Ilana. How are you? Thank you for joining. Okay. The math department had a meeting. And is asking its teachers to follow this type of a schedule. So we're going to go back to the days of the week real quick. Monday, but only like the work week, the school week. Okay. So these 2 days right here, Monday and Thursday, these 2 days are considered your class meeting days, right? And according to your schedule that I shared with you, it takes place for this group at 11 a.m. These 2, you should, hey Emily, how are you? These 2, you should definitely be attending, because what the math department is asking us to do here now is to set up a task for the week, like an assignment. So set up an assignment. And then over here, we would be discussing the results of that assignment. And I would like volunteers who would be willing to let us discuss their work. Kind of like what we did with the DUA rubric. I asked for volunteers. You guys were great about this. You allowed us to look at your work and actually grade it. This is going to be a little bit different. The same is that we're going to be looking at your work, but what's different is we're going to be discussing and analyzing your actual thought process and strategy in working the problem or the task, activity, whatever you want to call it. Hi, Melanie. How are you, dear? Yes, we're very happy to see you. Absolutely thrilled. This is good. Many more of you are here today. That's a very good thing, because we've missed you and you've got to be here. Okay, so what's going to happen here is a few things, right? Number one, what happens with these days is that, first of all, I'm going to still have the stream office hours. So in those office hours, you could do any kind of makeup work. That might be too light, especially if there's a glare. So you could do any type of makeup work. You can do, you can ask questions. Maybe when I set up the assignment, it made sense to you, but then maybe when you try working on it Monday and Tuesday, you're like, oh, I have questions about it. So you can ask questions about it, okay? And you should definitely, between here and here, you should definitely have finished and submitted the actual assignment. Because come Thursday, we're supposed to be talking about it, and that means that I need your work samples. Okay? Now, Friday looks just like Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay? It's going to be makeup work and questions. So these are not required times for you to check in with Ms. Leggett. They're just opportunities for you to catch up, because many of you need to catch up. Okay? Do you have any questions about the way your math school week is supposed to look? Like what kind of schedule you're supposed to follow, what you're supposed to do when? Can you see this okay? Maybe I need to get a little closer. Hopefully it's not too blurry. That's another issue that I had with Google Meet. I tried it out and it ended up being too blurry, and I was not able to fix it. Okay, so if you don't have any questions about the schedule, this means that it's time for us to start looking at the actual task. So what I need you to do is I need you to go to your Google Classroom and go to the classwork tab. Hey, Alex, how are you? Alex, I'm sorry for the confusion. Google Meet, I had a couple of major problems with it with the other class. So I decided to keep this the same for now until I work this out with the administrators. If you go to your Google Classroom, I'm sorry, yeah, in your Google Classroom, you're going to see activity 3.2. We're starting the new book, Unit 3, and if you could see that it's called Rates and Percentages. In Unit 2, we were looking at ratios and unit rates or constant rates. Now we're going to be building on it. So this is not a separate, even though it's a new book, it's not a separate idea. We're building on it. So if you go to Google Classroom, you're going to see that Ms. Leggett attached 3 things. Oh, okay, no problem, Alex. We were wondering who the other people were because they weren't saying hi, but we saw the count. If you go to your Google Classroom, you're going to see that I attached 3 things, and one of them may not work because that's another issue. For some reason, it was blocked or something. So I attached activity 3.2, which is the assignment that's required by Thursday. I attached the black line. Now, what I mean by black line is this is the document with all your data that you might need in order to complete the task. And then the third thing was a video. And if you can't get that video to work, it's actually also embedded in the digital version of the lesson. So I need everybody to go to open up resources. Also, don't close the classwork tab, because the classwork tab has this task. This is the one that's required for you. And it looks like in the book, actually online also, it looks like this. It says measurement, stations. 3.2 measurement stations. Now notice there's an interactive version, and this is where you're going to be doing the majority of your investigating and exploration. Between this interactive version and the black line that I shared with you, part of the assignment in the classwork tab, that's where you're going to be investigating and exploring different types of measurements. The actual task, however, you'll notice there are tables for you to fill in. And at the end of all the stations or tables, there are summative questions. Does anybody have a question about anything that I referenced so far? So far, I referenced Google Classroom, the new assignment that I posted, and I've referenced Open Up Resources, your curriculum website, so that you can access the lesson, the interactive version of the lesson. And that's where you're going to see a video on courts versus leaders, and it's actually really important that you can see it. What I can do is, if it's not working for you guys, I might be able to share it a different way, and then maybe it will work. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see if I can share this with you guys on the stream in case it works that way. I don't know if it would work this way, but I'm going to try because it's coming up as forbidden and I don't know why. All right, it's a link. Let's try it this way. Add link. It still says forbidden. I don't know why it's not working. Hopefully, if you go to your curriculum website and you go to the lesson, remember that this is Unit 3. You have to go to grade 6 as a student. You have to go to Unit 3. You have to go to Lesson 3, and it's Activity 2. We're not doing the other ones. 1 task a week. Any questions so far, please? Anyone at all? Alana, what was not working for ELA? Please help me out to understand what's going on. If I'm not the only one with the problem, then I can talk to my colleagues. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Am I disconnected from you guys? This is it's a very strange day, let me tell you. Okay, I think I'm in. Hello? Yes? Anyone have any questions so far? Wait, what unit book? Unit 3, Alex, Unit 3. We are starting Unit 3. Thank you, Lairel. Thank you, Lair. Okay, great. So it seems like everybody is on point and understands what's going on, which means we can now okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that because I had some kind of error message. So we have to go over the task now. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look first. at the beginning. Some of these things you might not have access to. If you cannot find anything in your home that's comparable, you may need to estimate. You may need to try to find videos online. You might have to get really creative with your objects. You're going to be deciding basically what is larger when you compare. So for example, at the end, it says, which is larger? And it asks a cubic inch or a cubic centimeter. So when you start answering these questions, please don't just say, oh, I think it's a cubic centimeter. I need to hear why you think that, because if you volunteer for us to talk about your work, then I need to be able to, we have to be able to see your reasoning. Like if you think that the cubic centimeter is larger than the cubic inch, what makes you think that? Kind of like what we did with how many hours are in a week. We proved it, right? We broke it up and we actually demonstrated the thought process. Why did we multiply 24 times 7? So when you go ahead and when you fill out the answers to these questions, it's going to be very important for you to not just have like data in the tables, but for you to actually explain why you believe one is larger than the other. Please take a minute to look over the entire part of 3.2 to see if you have any questions about anything that's there. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet for 60 seconds. I want to know if you guys have questions while you're looking it over. I also want to see if there's a way for me . I don't think so. Okay, so hopefully you guys took the time to look over 3.2. Does anybody have any questions about any of the directions, any of the actual questions that are there, or what is required of you? Remember that it has to be done so that we can discuss it on Thursday and take a look at the work. No questions? Okay, so honestly, if there are no questions about the task, then you guys can leave and you can do the task. If you have questions, you can ask me, but you do need to submit it by Thursday morning so that we can discuss it. Okay? Do you guys have any questions now? For anybody who has to do makeup work, you should be signing in Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday with me so that you can catch up. Okay, if you don't have questions, you can go. Laurel, it looks like you have a question, so please go ahead and ask me. Alana, if you're not sure what we're doing, then I'm gonna say, okay. Yes. 3.2 is the only one that you have to do. Alana, I'm gonna explain it, but I'm gonna recommend that you, once the stream is over, that you access the video, okay? 3.2 is the only task for the week. The math department put out a schedule for us. Alana, we're starting unit 3. So if you go to open up resources and you go to unit 3, lesson 3, activity 2, this is what I've posted on Google Classroom. I posted this PDF document of 3.2. You do not have to do 3.1 or 3.3. You are only doing 3.2. I posted the document. I posted a black line of data that you need. For example, there are like the different measurements of ounces and pounds, russet potatoes, socks on a scale, a net figure, and then also a video. If you cannot access the video because there seems to be an issue with the link, the video is embedded in the lesson. So if you went to Unit 3, Grade 6 as a student, Unit 3, Lesson 3, Activity 2, if you scroll down to Station 3, the video is actually in Station 3. That's where it's posted. It's embedded. Hopefully you can watch the video that way. Hopefully it's not blocked because it is a very great tool. And if it doesn't work, then I'll try to find something comparable that's not blocked. Does anybody else have any questions at all? Alana, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are going to be makeup work days and my office hours. Mondays and Thursdays are going to be reserved for new tasks and new discussions. So the answer to your question is yes, but tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday, okay? Any other questions, folks? Okay, so then if you guys don't have any questions, then you know what you're supposed to do. Please have it done by Thursday so that we can discuss, and let me know if you volunteer your work sample. Other than that, I will see you next time. It has to be done by Thursday so that we can discuss it, yes. But Laurel and everyone else except Alex, I think. Alex is caught up, I believe, and maybe Jaden. I hope I see you tomorrow to do makeup work. I'm waiting. Okay. Nice job, guys. Thank you for that. Tell your cats I will see them anytime soon. Okay, I will. All right, guys, if there isn't anything else, then I will either see you Thursday or if you have makeup work, I will see you tomorrow, okay? Take care, and thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for participating. Okay.